Beautiful friends, stranger things are happening all over our planet right now, each and every day. Everything from an invasion of black crows to portals opening up in the sky, fallen angels from the sky. Was it actually a fallen angel? A spirit knocking Oprah Winfrey over on stage, but was it really a spirit? The yellow cube, the Mandela effect, lots of creepy and odd videos and clips to share with you today so that we can analyze and see what's really happening in the world. All this on episode number 1 of
Stranger Things Are Happening All Over the Globe.
Beautiful friends, beautiful souls, Satnam, welcome and hola. I hope that you're all having a beautiful day. There are some really strange things happening all over the planet. Strange things that we're going to present every week to you so that we can analyze, pick it apart, and see what's really happening on the planet. If you're new here, my name is Joseph Tittel, aka Spiritman JT, spiritual medium, and each and every week we'll be doing this. And each and every week you can catch me on Tuesdays when we review world events and how they may or may not relate to predictions and prophecy, along with new predictions each and every week. So if you want accurate predictions, prophecy, and truth, and you want to be a part of an amazing tribe, then you found it, baby. Smash that subscribe. Thank you for showing your love by clicking that like button, thumbs up button, because a lot of time and effort goes into content providing for all content providers. And we appreciate the thumbs up button. We don't so appreciate the opposite. Other than that, down below, you'll find all the links to all my social media. You can find me on Spotify, Rumble, and all other platforms as well. And my newsletter, which is free. It's down below. If it's free, it's for me. So open up that newsletter. You'll find upcoming classes. I have 2 classes coming up in the near future. Next week, the first class starts. And a whole lot more every week in that newsletter. You're not going to want to miss it. Subscribe so you never miss content. So shall we move on? Oh, one other thing. I want to thank all my supporters, all my subscribers, members of the Awaken Your Spirit community and members of this platform down below, and all those who send through donations of support. I couldn't do it without you. And I am grateful with infinite love and gratitude. So let's move on to episode number 1 of
Stranger Things Are Happening All Over the Globe.
Let us start today talking about orbs and all kinds of other things in this first episode. But I'm going to show you one of my favorite clips first. I'm going to leave you off with my most heartwarming clip of all that you're not going to want to miss to bring a little love into your heart after we witness all this stuff about demons, orbs, and all kinds of weird stuff like the yellow cube. But let's start with the orb or spirit that happened to knock Oprah Winfrey right on her butt on stage. I want you to watch this. It's going to loop, and you're going to watch right above her head as she's on stage. You will see the orb right above her head, see it? And then it'll swoop around and knock her over. Watch again. Orb right above her head. Right there. It swoops to the right, knocks her right in her side. That was not her shoes, as she tried to claim. I want to know what you think. Do you think it really was her shoes? Do you think the orb behind her swinging around is coincidence? Being a spiritual medium and being very sensitive, I can see beyond what the naked eye can see in many cases. And I can see that orb come down around and swoop right into her side as she falls over. Do you see it as well? Do you think that that's possible? I do. I have no doubt. I've done ghost investigations. One of them was at the Flanders Hotel in New Jersey at the beach where a spirit knocked me over, pushed me and knocked me over. So yeah, they can. No doubt. So are the spirits, the good spirits I would hope, mad at Oprah? Wanted to kind of knock her over? Listen to what she was talking about too. About health. Like she knows something about health. Well, she knows something about the elite and the globalists and the web of darkness. She's one of them spiders that crawl on that web of darkness in many people's opinions. But again, I want your opinion down below. Now let's move on to a strange occurrence that happened in Houston, Texas. where an invasion of black crows took over Houston. In the parking lot, all over. Check it out. They're just everywhere. Is this a strange occurrence or is this a natural occurrence? Could you imagine the amount of doo-doo that's in that parking lot with all those birds? Talk about spreading some bird flu. My Lord. How do you drive without running them over? Look, oh, did you see them all come off the roof there? Woo, big time. So is there actually something odd or peculiar about this happening in Houston, Texas? I know we got some subscribers down there in Houston, Texas, and from my research when I went to look for this video clip, I happened to actually find that this same occurrence happened 3 years ago. At least the clips that I could find were 3 years old. This one's the new clip that just happened in Houston, Texas. So, did it happen last year and the year before? That's my question. Then if it did, then it's probably a normal migrating pattern of these crows. Now, if it happened 3 years ago, not last year or the year before, but this year, then there's something off. And we already know there's something off with the poles shifting and everything else that's happening on our planet. It throws off their navigation. It's been proven that the compass is pointing different direction than what it would have pointed 20 years ago. Again, these are all facts that we can look up. So personally, in this particular incident, I think it's probably just a migrating pattern or their migration got thrown off, which could have also been thrown off by storms as well. And maybe that happened 3 years ago. But this one's even more interesting. Watch this clip as this woman walks in to feed her ducklings, and they're all moving around. But when she walks in, they freeze solid.
Why are they all not moving?
Frozen solid.
What?
It's like Madonna's Frozen.
What is happening right now?
And you notice at the end, there's that little one pecking away, all fine, but all the rest of them are frozen. Now, my question is where she located would have a lot to do, with me analyzing this. If anybody happens to know where this video was taken from, that could have a lot to do with the reaction of these little ducklings. But it also could be her energy. Did you notice when she walked in, the birds were moving at first and then instantly froze? Only a second they were moving when she got it on film, but then they were all froze except for that one. Perhaps these ducklings are sensitive to particularly her energy? Perhaps there's a spirit or something dark attached to her that is affecting the ducklings when she walks in. Or, again, depending on our location, animals we know show peculiar behavior before big events like storms and especially earthquakes. An earthquake event? Now, if we watch things like Skinwalker Ranch and notice how the cattle all froze in the field when the UFO was up above, maybe there was a UFO above our head. But we won't know because we don't know where this video was taken at necessarily. So moving on to portals opening up in the sky. Now, this is really interesting. Two very interesting clips. First, starting in New York City. In New York City, we see the sky portal opening up. The sky starts off blue. Check it out. Now watch. In the video, you see other people with their phones out, looking towards the sky, videotaping.
Look, he's recording it as well.
So other people see it. Look at that. That is just simply wild. So what do you think it was, friends? What do you think that is opening up in the skies in New York? Looks a little creepy, but could it just be technology? Technology derived from Operation Bluebeam? It probably is, and I'm going to show you why. It may not be either, just saying. Could be literally portals. I'm going to remind you of what the Hopi prophecy says in the Blue Star Kachina prophecy. That portals would open up and allow dark entities to enter upon the earth. We have the whole thing that happened with aliens landing in Las Vegas, and then we had the aliens opening up a portal in the Miami Mall, if it actually happened, allegedly. So are these portals not aliens, but really actually demons? The Hopi warned humanity about it hundreds of years ago, and now it's happening. Everything in that prophecy is happening. If you want to know more about that prophecy and the whole blue star Kachina, which will arrive in the year 2029, you're going to want to watch that video I did for April 13th, 2029. I'll leave a link up above so that you don't miss it. So moving on, is it demons or is it just a show? Because check out this show. Because this right here is a show. I believe this is in Orlando, Florida. And this is quite creepy. It's like cool creepy though. Look at how he points his staff and it's like coming at you. 3-dimension. And then he disappears in the portal. Wild, right? That's so good, I gotta play it again. And look, the portal opens and he disappears in the portal. So are they trying to tell us something? Because it kind of seems like, are they telling us right there that they already have this technology? And that's Disney, by the way. We all know about Disney. Disney's almost as bad as NASA itself. And I'm going to tell you more about NASA as we move forward. I want to know what you think of that clip. Because, there's this whole conspiracy, but I don't believe it's a conspiracy personally. Because I've read the plan book for the globalist elite and the sick ideas that they have and want to pose and do in the future. One of them, of course, is a invasion of aliens to make it look real. Because in their mind, the only way to get every country to come together to agree to a one world government would be an invasion from outer space. No doubt about it. So this is their plan. If you don't know about Project Bluebeam, look it up. They have this technology. So what we see in that clip from Disney is just what they're showing us. Their technology is at least 1,000 times more advanced than what we see. So imagine what they can do. They could have made that whole sky light up in New York like they did. And there again, it could be portals opening up like the Hopi said, allowing dark entities to come in. Could be a lot of different things. I want to know what you think it could be in the comments down below. Now we have CERN. CERN, if you're not familiar with CERN over there in, where is it? Switzerland? Over there in Switzerland. CERN, the God particle. Why are they trying to come up with the God particle? I know why. Because these psychopaths think they're gods. They truly believe they're gods, and they want to destroy the true God of the universe, which will never happen. God wins, and love wins, always. So CERN, and when they're activating and testing their Hadron Accelerator, things are appearing above the skies. Starting with this here picture that I'll show you of CERN. This is right above CERN when they are activating their Hadron Accelerator. Crazy, right? Well, it gets even creepier. Here's a little video clip of the sky right above CERN. Check this one out. It literally looks like there's a vacuum in the center, sucking everything towards it. Almost like a black hole, but it's white. Is this a normal sky phenomenon? Or is this unexplained? Look at that, moving right up, that orb that moved right up into it. Friends, that was a portal. And look, it disappears. Now, what do you think of that one? That is a true video. Now again, people could use a green screen and fake this footage. Now we have AI faking all kinds of footage as well. I have no doubt that's real because that footage there is from many years ago, before they were pushing all this stuff out. It's still possible that everything we see on the internet we have to take very lightly, like a grain of salt, because it could be faked, hoaxed, or made by artificial intelligence. They're pushing the whole UFO alien agenda on us. They're pushing this whole portal thing on us. And everything else. Speaking of portals opening up and demons, did you know that it's claimed that certain colors of glass and glass filters, such as the original night vision goggles that they used during the Vietnam War, can allow us to see into different dimensions or different dimensional beings? Even UFO hunters out here in Sedona, actually, they have UFO hunts or tours or whatever. They use night vision goggles. I have a pair of night vision binoculars. They're not that great, but I've used them here. And yes, you do see things. balls of light going through the sky that you don't see with your naked eye. So, yeah, there's definitely something to this. But what about Vietnam and claims that veterans from Vietnam were seeing demons, dark entities, flying in the skies and flying next to them? Check out this clip of these guys talking about this particular technology. Check it out.
Green, now they have like the white phosphor, which is like whitish blue. But apparently the first night vision goggles that the US government had during Vietnam were red. And basically these goggles were made with a chemical cyanosine or something. They were given to fighter pilots, people in planes in different parts of the military during Vietnam. And the soldiers were wearing them and they were seeing things. The gunner was like shooting in the air at nothing. What do you see right now? And he's like, how do you not see this? They're like giant demons flying beside us. And they're like, what are you talking about? Apparently the chemical that was in this allowed them to see on like some different visible spectrum or something, and they were picking up auras and like the fourth dimension energy, and people were losing their mind and going crazy because they were seeing crazy. And then right after that they stopped and they made the switch to green.
Now that is crazy, friends. What do you think? Do you think that's all possible? I have no doubt. I have no doubt that it's probably 100% complete truth, and I'll tell you why. A couple reasons why. First, let us go back to the time in the year 1988. Because again, I have no doubt that we can see in different dimensions. We can do it through meditation, but I believe that there's a way for us to do so through some type of glass filters that we wear as sunglasses or as goggles. And if we go back to the year 1988, they actually showed us that this technology exists. Remember, they show us everything in the movies. And their technology is so advanced. That's the other thing. Every year we advance in technology that we see throughout humanity on the planet, the militaries advance 50 years. That's a big difference. So they have amazing, amazing technologies that they're not sharing with us. Instead, they're using it against us as weapons. So check out this little clip here. This is from the movie They Live from 1988. And what I want you to pay close attention to in this clip is all the subliminal stuff that they put in this movie. Words. When he puts the glasses on, he's telling you. He's telling you that there's subliminal messages all around us that we're not seeing. They're showing you that in the movie. Even more concerning is look at the words that he's seeing. The first one is obey. Didn't we just see that in the movie with Julia Roberts? What was the name of that movie on Netflix? I just drew a blank. But you know what I'm talking about. The kid with the shirt that said obey. Right next to the girl with the shirt that said NASA. Obey NASA. Oh, I got some concerning stuff about NASA to show you today too. But check out this clip of They Live. And we'll talk about it after. Like obey, stay asleep, buy. What's that all about, friends? Do not question authority. There's no coincidences. And they showed us this back in 1988. He puts on those glasses and he sees the humans that are disguised, the aliens that are disguised as humans. Now I have no doubt that such technology exists. Now, that also makes us believe that the whole conspiracy about reptilians cloaked as humans could also be true. Didn't those aliens kind of look slightly reptilian through his glasses? If you haven't seen that movie, it was a very interesting movie. I think I might watch it again. It's an old one, but it's a good one. And I bet you there's a lot more symbolism in that movie that we would catch now. That's the thing. People are more awake now, friends. People are more awake than ever. People are sharing stories about things they wouldn't share back then, like the Vietnam thing. They wouldn't talk about that if that actually was true and happening. They'd be put in a loony bin back then with padded rooms and bars on the doors and on the windows. That's what they would have done. So they wouldn't have told us. They would have made everybody think, that they were crazy. Just like people don't want to talk about UFO abduction stories because everybody will think they're crazy. But not so much anymore, friends. Not so much anymore. Now, I know from personal experience that this is very much and very likely a very possible thing to filter things and see things that others can't with the naked eye. When I was out on a hike on Wilson Trail out here in Sedona, Arizona with my sister Lori, she noticed she was wearing very high-end sunglasses, like $300 sunglasses. She noticed like an orb from her eye that went by. She's like, "Well, I just saw something." I'm like, "I didn't see that." She's like, "You didn't see that right in front of us?" I'm like, "No, I didn't see that." And she's like, "Maybe it's my glasses." So then what we did is in turn, we took her glasses and used it as a filter to take photographs. And check out what we found. In these photographs, first, this is the first photograph. There were a lot of them. I'm just going to show you the ones that were the one that was really cool. First, starting with this one. This is a distant picture of it. But watch when I bring this picture close up for you. This picture actually has two separate faces in it. First, upright. If you look down at the bottom of the picture, can you see the ancient Egyptian eye? With the eyelash and the woman's face? And kind of the top of the mountains, like her hair, right? Pretty creepy and wild, wouldn't you say? Check out this one. This is the same picture upside down. Now you see a different face. That looks like the Egyptian god Ptah. Looks just like him, actually. 100%. And that was all taken through sunglass lens. They were like, I forget what kind they were. But it's possible, friends. Now I want somebody out there to make me a pair of those red ones. The guy mentioned in the video what kind of chemical it was. I'm not sure what he said, but there was some kind of chemical, so I'm sure that somebody out there can make them again, especially with all the technology that we have in our own homes. Maybe you could do them on a 3D printer, add some of that chemical in. Not sure, but maybe somebody here can do that. So now we're going to go on to falling angels. Are they falling angels in Venezuela? We know there's a lot of tragedy happening in Venezuela. Lots of struggles the people of Venezuela are having. Could it be because demons fell into Venezuela and now they're controlling everything? So I want to take a look at these two separate videos that I have here. This is during a severe lightning storm that was happening in Venezuela. And these videos are from two totally separate people, friends. Two different people on two different ends of the city. Completely different ends of the city. So let's start with this one. See it? It comes out really fast out of the sky, and you have to watch it in slow motion. Here's a little slower. Looks like, look, and it's even got a beam of light behind it. And here's even slower. Look at that. But there's actually two. Bet you didn't see that one. Two things falling from the sky. Does that not look right there like a guy in a beam of light? Or, a guy, whatever, in a beam of light. It literally looked like somebody coming down a tunnel of light. Falling. Oh, but friends, this video footage gets even better. Look at this other video clip in Venezuela, same day, same thing, by a different person who had no idea. This one's even creepier. Falls right onto the roof of the building. Slow motion. Right onto the roof of the building. Wonder what building that is. Maybe somebody could tell us what building that is. So what do you think? Two separate people. This is what we got. Now maybe they know each other, but they're on totally different sides of the city. You can see by the footage that it's a completely different spot, but the same sky and the same thing falling from the sky. Could it be the fallen angels? That was definitely not no debris, because I think people in Venezuela would have had a news story about something falling from the sky onto the streets. That fell right into the city, friends. There's nothing falling from the sky into the city that isn't leaving a huge amount of damage and a huge amount of loudness and sound when it crashes down. But maybe it didn't crash. Maybe it landed. What do you think it was? there were two things in that video. I'm curious what you believe in the comments down below. And I appreciate you taking the time to leave comments down below. Let us move on to possessions. We have portals opening up. We have demons in the night. We have night vision goggles. Now we have possessed objects. Can objects actually be possessed? Yes. Dark entities and all spirits, even good spirits, attached to either people, places, or things. Now, if they're attached to places, they can attach to people. Like if you go to that place and certain things can have it attached to you. I've had many spirits follow me home back in the day. Even mostly good ones, but even clients, deceased loved ones follow me home or being at my house. So they do attach, and they're not attached spirits, but they can attach to an object. There could be a possessed knife or a possessed picture, possessed piece of furniture. Check out this possessed doll. And I want you to tell me whether you think the producers made this happen or whether the doll made it happen.
Necessarily say possessed, but there is...
Watch the very end.
It has
And you see
got
the chair
something-
begin to rock.
It's definitely got something.
You almost look like Debbie. You don't want to even look at the doll.
No, I don't.
Are you a bit scared?
I don't even want to touch
That
it.
doll
Really?
sure is creepy looking.
For some reason, I said let's buy them, and we
So
bought,
you say
we
them.
bought
There's more than
three.
one. Okay.
It definitely has
We
a
bought
creepy
three.
vibe.
They were £5 each, and we thought we'll buy them because they look like they're worth more than £5 each. You know, hands up, I bought them to resell.
That chair's beginning
Chair's
to rock.
rocking.
Look at that.
Who's doing that? Stop it. Who's doing that?
That doll definitely had a creepy vibe. The chair obviously rocked. But at the same time, I don't know if I would fully believe that the doll made the chair rock on live television. It's a television show. Producers want, just like social media people want more likes and more views, that's exactly what media wants as well, whether it's media or social media. So perhaps the producers did that just to creep out the audience, and creep would be easy enough to do with a little piece of fishing string that you would never see. But again, at the same time, objects do become possessed. No doubt about it. And not always by bad spirits either. It could have been the little girl that loved her doll so much that when she died, she didn't want to depart from her doll and becomes attached to it. So there's all kinds of stories in all kinds of ways. That's why when we pass away, the first thing we need to do is just like in the movie Poltergeist. Go to the light, Carol Ann. There's peace in the light. Go to the light, friends. Don't hesitate. Don't look back. Just go to the damn light. Because once you go there, you can come back and visit anytime. But if you don't go there and that light shuts down, then you're stuck here. Believe me, you don't want to be stuck here. Wouldn't be any fun, would it? Not at all. We want to be in the heavens with all our ancestors and loved ones. Possessed objects. Moving on. So whether you know it or not, NASA was created by Operation Paperclip. If you don't know about Operation Paperclip, again, look it up. That's all the people from over in Germany, from the World War II, that they brought over here in the United States. There were 100 and some of them. They built a little town out in Nevada to hide them from the public. Didn't want the public to see them, so they put them out in the desert. And one of those people was the one that created NASA and all the NASA rockets. So there's so many conspiracies wrapped around NASA, right? One being that there's a higher intelligence, or that they are a higher intelligence, which is very possible. So check out these photos. This is just a short clip showing NASA's rockets. Did you know every NASA rocket has something on it symbolic? Like ancient symbolic? Specifically going back to ancient Rome? What's that all about? Even on their patches, they have this in NASA. And I just saw this clip and I wanted to share it with you because I never noticed this about NASA, starting with this big old rocket. I mean, look at that. Isn't that Thor with the hammer right there? Why is Thor with the hammer on the side of a rocket? Oh, there's the serpent snakes. Psst. All right, we know how much. And look at the one over there on the left with the alien patch. Victory through intelligence. Victory through intelligence. What is that all about, NASA? Need another secret agency? Because this is what they are. Need another secret agency. They are a secret agency for sure. So is NASA the globalist elite, the billionaires screwing with things, opening up portals? perhaps opening up gates to hell, all while shifting timelines at the same time, because many people believe that the timelines are being shifted. I'd be one of them as well. And all this deception on deep, deep levels that people wouldn't have even imagined possible. Like, have you ever heard of the Mandela effect? If not, then I have these questions for you. Do y'all remember Publishers Clearance Sweepstakes here in the United States? Do you remember who used to host and push that all the time? It was Ed McMahon. I remember. I used to fill that out. Like when I was a kid, I used to fill that out every time. I used to wait for it to come in the mail and fill it out every time. And it was Ed McMahon on the cover of that. I remember clear as friggin' day. Well, they say Ed McMahon never had anything to do with Publisher Clearance House. What? So do you say Jif peanut butter or do you say Jiffy peanut butter? It was Jiffy peanut butter when I was growing up. Jif claims that they were never called Jiffy, always Jif. Do you say Bernstein Bears or Bernstein Bears? It was the Bernstein Bears, always. No, they tell you that that's wrong. It's the Bernstein Bears. Do you remember Fruit of the Loom underwear? I remember I used to wear it when I was a kid. And it had the little cornucopia on it with the fruit coming out of it. Well, Fruit of the Loom claims that there was never a cornucopia associated with Fruit of the Loom underwear. I say BS. I know there was. So, Luke, I am your father, or I am your father. I remember him saying, Luke, I am your father. Well, that's not in the movie now if you watch it. It's just, I am your father. No Luke in there. What about the movie If You Build It? If you build it, they will come. Sorry, I had a brain freeze there. Now they're saying if you build it, he will come. Who's he? I remember, what was that movie called? Fields. Something Fields. I just drew a blank again. But yeah, if you build it, they will come. That's exactly what he said about building the baseball field. If you build it, they will come. He will come? Who the hell is he? Like, where'd that come from? Well, that's what the movie says now. What about Forrest Gump? Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Well, they say that's not what he says now. He says something completely different. And don't you all remember the original movie Shazam, starring Sinbad? I remember watching that movie very clearly. I remember that movie so darn clearly that I could probably act in that movie. So, we're being told that Sinbad never was in a movie called Shazam, and they just recently released a new movie called Shazam. Coincidence? Because people were catching on. So I don't know if this is really Sinbad. Could be fake, could be AI. But check out this clip. Alleged clip of Sinbad and what he says.
I did do Shazam. I'm not proud of it. When I did Shazam, I was staining, and I did Shazam for money. I knew it wasn't going to be a great movie because I have no genie skills. I think most movies, you have to bring something out of yourself. And I've never been a genie or had magical powers. Bam, when I was growing up, yeah, you did. It did exist. It took a lot of government intervention to get those videos out of people's homes and out of the video stores. I'm lucky because I'm ex-military, ex-special forces. So we were able to do a lot of mind control stuff to get those videotapes away from people.
So we were able to do a lot of mind control stuff to get those videos away from people. Actually, if you look online, people do still have some of those videos. And all of this stuff to prove. Even the Bernstein Bears. And everything else that they tell us didn't exist, including Jiffy peanut butter. This is all an effect of the Mandela effect. Where people do believe that they are shifting and changing timelines. Remember, he just talked about mind control. We already know about MK Ultra, and we know that they do that. Look at all these massive bang bangs that happen. And not all of them, but the majority, 90%, 95% of them all say the same thing. The voices told me to do it. We write it off as being mental illness and other things. But what if there are voices telling them to do it? Whether it's voices from demonic energies or voices from technology they have patents on. I showed them on my Tuesday show before all the different creepy patents they have. And one of those patents is that they can speak voices that you could be sitting at a table in a restaurant and only you are the one that hears it. There's patents on this, friends. So they can do it. So why would they be changing everything in the timelines? Kind of creepy, don't you think? So this seems to be such a mystery. There seems to be so much magic revolved around the square cube. On to the next subject, by the way. Square cube. Look, over there in the Middle East, they pray and walk around the big square cube. The square cube actually is a representation of the planet Saturn. And so, what is up with the cube? I know that it's sacred when it comes to sacred geometry, and so much is derived just from the cube itself. But what about the yellow cube? Have you ever heard of it? I didn't until recently. Check it out, and I want to know what you think. Does the yellow cube exist?
Secrecy and secret facilities and the capabilities of our nationally kept secrets would shatter most people's imagination of what is possible.
Are you aware of what happened to the yellow cube and how it was used and so on?
I believe that the yellow cube still exists.
Okay, well, that coincides with the testimony we got.
The yellow cube or the yellow book would give you your possible future.
Yes.
So it took basically the choices that you would inherently make along a timeline and tell you what that timeline would be, given that you made all the choices that your brain would make.
Well, this is exactly what I was just going to ask you. What we were told is that leaders of governments and so on, people in high places, politically, would use this to try to see their most optimum future and then follow those. So they were using it to enhance their wealth, et cetera, in a very egotistical way.
All of this information that is currently held secret and classified is actually real.
The yellow cube, and leaders use it to help them determine the best future for them? Why would they not share that with the rest of us? Because if we all had the ability to determine our best potential future, wouldn't this be a much better world that we would live in? Could the yellow cube and their ability to see into the future allow them to shift timelines? Whereas now people believe it's Jif peanut butter when we were brought up that it was Jiffy, right? Kind of creepy. We know all about this technology and the Stargates and everything else that the governments have. But now what's exciting is the truth is finally coming out. As I said back in 2012 in predictions that over the next 2 decades, we're going to see so much truth that the world will be shockingly completely different. And it already is from 2012. Now imagine what the next decade is going to bring to us. When we hit the next decade, we'll be onto the new earth. And that will be when all of humanity is forced to come together in pure love to rebuild the planet. So what exactly could happen on the planet that forces us all to come together? I don't know, but that's what needs to happen anyway. And there's so much evil and so much darkness. I feel like I have a bug on me. So much evil and darkness crawling around in our world. These creepy psychopaths that, are said to dying on little ones and all kinds of stuff. So I want you to watch this little clip because I thought it was interesting. It's an old clip. Just like that yellow cube clip of that guy. That was an older clip. It looked like it might have been from the 80s. So that's been around for quite some time. So do vampires exist? We know that the elite like little ones. And they like dying. We know about the cannibalistic restaurant that was opened in Hollywood. I don't think it's there anymore. But check out this clip and listen closely to this lady slip in what she says. Was it a slip? Or was she speaking truth?
We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution, to be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight.
The babies we eat? Wow, she eats babies? What kind of babies? It's just so wild and weird and all. And we know a lot of them. She probably just slipped, really. Just slipped. I mean, she looks like she's a little tired there. It looks like an old clip. But we know that many of them sold their souls to the devil. And they let us know in our faces that they have done so and do so and can do so. Check out this SNL clip where they say very clearly.
I'm Pete Davidson, and I will be hosting the season premiere of SNL with Ice Spice.
Ooh, look at us, 3 Gen Z icons.
Aren't you like 40?
No. Long time ago, I met this guy and made a deal where I get to stay 25 years old for forever.
What guy?
Tall fella, horns, red fur, I don't know, little hooves.
Keen, that's the devil, dude.
What? I thought it was like a Times Square Elmo or something.
I thought it was a Times Square Elmo or something. That's another video that's on my list for this year to complete is those who have sold their souls for rock and roll and other types of fame. It's pretty in-depth. I already collected quite a bit of information about it. So how do we fight all these demons? How do we fight all this evil, darkness, and these portals opening up that the Hopi natives warned us was going to happen? It's happening, no doubt. Even in the prophecy of the Holy Bible, it talks about the fallen angels that were bound beneath the Euphrates River that will be unleashed when the Euphrates River dries up. Friends, Euphrates River is drying up to a level that it's never been seen in history. Are those demons being unleashed too? Because that was 2 years ago I did a video on it. And look what's happened over in Europe and all since. And now in the Middle East. Seems that some demons have been unleashed in the Middle East for sure, since the Euphrates has been drying up. So how do we defend ourselves from all this evil? There's only one way, friends. There's only one way and only one word that can help us to alleviate all darkness and evil. And I'm going to let this amazing man tell you himself what the cure to fighting evil is.
Can't handle it. They, whoever they are, don't stand a chance because they can't beat love. Because all those old bits from religion and that about love being all powerful is true, and that's the bit they can't do. They can't handle it.
They, whoever they may be, he says, I love John Lennon. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Mother Mary comes to me. Let it be, let it be. Love, baby. Love is where it's at. And that's why I'm going to end you off with this loving clip of a hero. Because I want to show you that there are still amazing, beautiful people in this world. More beautiful people than there are evil people, actually. We just tend to not see it because we're flooded with so much darkness and evil. Especially if you watch mass media and news. You're flooded with it. Conflict and death and all these awful things that are happening. And now weather. And they're throwing all these things and fears in our faces. And we can fight it, again, simply by staying focused on love each and every day. And knowing that there are amazing people in the world like this guy right here. Check it out. If you're an animal lover like I am, then likely, like myself, this will bring tears to your eyes. Happy tears, of course. Happy tears. Check it out.
At Steed Pond in Clearfield, Utah, just outside Salt Lake City, North Davis District Firefighter Logan Hadley determined to rescue one family's dog named Bob.
Can I help you?
Crawling on his hands and knees to the dog in that protective suit meant to keep him warm and to keep him afloat. Water.
He's in the ice.
Approaching the dog, Bob.
Good job, good job.
Carefully grabbing him, helping him up.
Pull, guys, pull.
Rescuing Bob the dog from the water, firefighter Logan then pulled to safety by his own team.
Is that man not such an amazing hero to go out there into that lake and pond and that freezing water, risking his own life to save that little puppy who was in there barking? That would break my heart, first of all. If that was my dog out there barking, I would go out and try to get it. I love that little suit that he had on that blows up and keeps him warm and keeps him floating. That's pretty freaking awesome. I never seen such a device. But that man is a hero. And we thank you for saving that dog. And I know that dog, his name's Bob, by the way, the dog's name's Bob. And we're glad Bob's home safe and warm. And I hope that you're home safe and warm too, because it's surely cold out all over the globe. It's just going to get colder. If you want to know what's happening in the world and how it leads to predictions and prophecy, remember to catch me every Tuesday for Tuesday's Tittle Tea Time. I hope you enjoyed this first episode, and if you did, there'll be many more episodes of Stranger Things Are Happening. Until the next time, my beautiful friends, don't forget to smash that like button. Show me that you like this content so that I can do more of it. And if you don't, then let me know in the comments down below. And do leave a comment and a like, because that helps get this content out to other people. Remember to visit my website at spiritmanjt.com. And once again, I thank all my supporters who make this free content possible for everybody else, the members of the community down below, the Awaken Your Spirit community, and each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you, and I am very grateful. Remember to celebrate life, celebrate you. Be kind to others as you wish others be kind to you. And remember to be bold, be true, be kind, be you. Because you are amazing. Celebrate your amazingness and have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste. and much love.